All right, let's talk about something that's running your life completely on autopilot. We're going to uncover this incredibly powerful mental framework that's built on just 3 questions. Questions you are answering every single moment of every single day, whether you know it or not. I mean, really think about that for a second. What if every decision you make, every single emotion you feel, every action you take, is all dictated by the answers to these 3 hidden questions? Well, today, we're going to drag them out into the light. These right here, these are the 3 pillars of your entire experience of life. First, your brain decides what to focus on. Then, it slaps a label on it. It assigns a meaning. And finally, based on that meaning, it decides what to do next. Let's break each one down piece by piece. Okay, so it all starts right here with focus. I mean, think about it. There is an infinite amount of information coming at you all the time. Your brain has to pick and choose what to pay attention to. And that little choice, that tiny selection, it literally creates your entire emotional world. The relationship here is so simple, it's almost hard to believe. Focus equals feeling. Whatever you zoom in on with your mind, whatever you put that mental spotlight on, you will feel it in your body. It doesn't even matter if it's actually true or not.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Have you ever been absolutely convinced a friend was mad at you? You focus on it, you feel hurt, you get all worked up, and then you finally talk to them and realize you completely made it all up in your head. The feeling was real, oh yeah, but it was generated purely by your focus, not by the facts.
See, to handle all this information without going crazy, our brain takes shortcuts. It deletes stuff, it distorts things, and it generalizes everything else. The problem is, this means we miss out on so much of reality. And these shortcuts create these ruts, these habitual patterns that our focus just falls into. So let's look at the 3 biggest ones. Okay, first one, be honest with yourself. Where does your mind tend to go? Do you focus on what you have in your life, your blessings, your wins, the progress you've made? Or does your mind automatically drift to what's missing? That goal you haven't hit yet, the thing you don't own, the problem that's still bugging you.
Well, get this. The source material for this explainer found something staggering. When you get a room full of high achievers together, about 95% of them, 95, admit they habitually focus on what's missing. Now look, it's a great tool for making progress, but if that's your default setting 24/7, sustained happiness becomes pretty much impossible no matter how much you succeed.
All right, the second major pattern is all about control. Where does your attention go? Does it go to the things that are actually within your power to change? Or do you spend your energy on things that are completely outside of your control? You know, like the weather, the traffic, or what other people think of you.
Now here's where it gets interesting. People who are into self-improvement, people like you, they tend to focus about 80% of their attention on what they can control. And that makes sense, right? It's that core belief that drives all progress. The idea that, hey, I can actually do something about this.
And the last big pattern is all about time. Where do you live in your head? Are you stuck in regrets about the past? Are you filled with anxiety about the future? Or are you actually here, grounded in the experience of the present moment? Each one creates a wildly different quality of life. As people who want to grow, we're naturally pulled towards the future, right? We're always planning, building, creating. And that is absolutely essential for a great life. But the actual joy, that feeling of being truly alive, that's only found right here, right now, in the present. The magic is finding that balance. So once your brain has picked its focus, it's got the raw data, it immediately jumps to the next critical step. It asks, so what does this mean? Because here's the thing, nothing has any meaning on its own. We are meaning-making machines. And the label we choose, well, it changes absolutely everything. Think about getting laid off from a job. Is that the end of your career? Or is it the beginning of an amazing new adventure? Is a really tough project a punishment from your boss? Or is it a challenge that's going to help you grow? Is this thing a problem? Or could it actually be a gift in disguise? The story you tell yourself is the whole game. And just like focus equals feeling, the rule here is just as simple. Meaning equals emotion. You label an event a disaster, and you will feel despair. You label that exact same event an opportunity, and you will feel energized. You choose the label. You choose the emotion. Period. And that emotional state you just created for yourself, well, that becomes the jet fuel for the third and final question. What am I going to do about it? Your emotions are literally the engine for action. They determine if you're going to step up with courage and creativity, or if you're going to shrink back with fear.
Let's make this super real. Think back to the start of a new relationship. Your focus isn't on what you're getting, is it? No, it's all about what you can give. You feel love, you feel generous, you're excited, and so your actions completely reflect that. You do anything for that person. But flash forward a few years. Suddenly, the focus shifts. It's about what's missing. It's about keeping score. The meaning changes from we're a team to this is a transaction. And the feeling isn't generosity anymore. It's resentment. And the action? Well, it starts to sound a little bit like this, doesn't it? The second it becomes a trade, I did this, so you owe me that, the passion just dies. The whole point is, those loving actions you took in the beginning, they came from a state of generous focus and a beautiful meaning. If you had just maintained that internal state, the actions would have followed naturally, and maybe there never would have been an end. So what does all this mean for you right now? It means you have way more power than you think. You're not just some passive actor on a stage reading lines that someone else wrote for you. No way. You are the director. You get to decide where to point the camera, what the scene means, and what the main character does next. It's a chain reaction, you see. Your focus creates a meaning. That meaning creates an emotion, and that emotion drives your action, which ultimately shapes your destiny. And it all starts with that one simple choice of where you put your attention. Look, just understanding this framework is cool. It's a great first step. But the real transformation, the life-changing stuff, that happens when you stop letting these questions be answered on autopilot and you start consciously, deliberately choosing your answers, moment by moment by moment. So, I'll leave you with this question. Of those 3 focus patterns we talked about, what you have versus what's missing, what you can control versus what you can't, or living in the past, present, or future, which one of those will you intentionally practice shifting starting today? The choice is all yours.